UNFCCC reporting services is in Paris, France, for the UN climate talks, reporting on selected side events. On Friday, 4th December, the Globe on Carbon Capture and Storage Institute held a side event to discuss how the evolving UNFCCC architecture can mobilize resources to support carbon capture storage deployment in the long term. Carbon capture and storage, or CCS, is a set of technologies that can prevent emission of large quantities of greenhouse gases by carbon dioxide capture and sequestration. As the name implies, carbon dioxide is captured typically from large industrial processes before emission into the atmosphere. The captured carbon dioxide is then transported to a secure site and injected deep into a rock formation for permanent storage. Mark Bonner of Global CCS Institute presented an overview of the global status of CCS deployment and the evolution of the UNFCCC architecture as relates to CCS.
Collectively, the capacity of these 22 projects is 40 million tonnes of CO2 per year. Carbon capture and storage has been within the UNFCCC agenda for over a decade now. And I think that's set in train a discussion within the mechanisms and the programs of the UNFCCC that have facilitated carbon capture and storage to be accepted as an integral and environmentally sound technology. The Clean Development Mechanism was the first to accept CCS as an eligible project level activity after some 7 years of prosecution of the issues by parties.
Erwin Jackson, drawing from his experiences in climate change policy and research work in Australia, provided environmental NGO perspectives on the role of CCS.
One of the things we've always sought to achieve is a transition from a high carbon, high polluting energy sector in Australia to one which is zero emissions. And we've always seen a broad portfolio of technologies needing us to get there. And the role we've played has really been about holding industry accountable, calling them out when they haven't been honest, but at the same time working with them when necessary to actually get regulations in place to ensure the safe storage and capture of carbon capture and storage, but also to work with them to get the policy frameworks in place that would see carbon capture and storage deployed in Australia alongside a broad range of technologies like renewable energy, energy efficiency and other low emission options.
Jeff Schwartz spoke on the facilitative role of carbon markets to encourage technology, innovation and deployment while minimizing costs.
If we have not only long-term certainty in the EU with our emissions trading system, but also a rebound in terms of carbon prices that could help see the spread of CCS, that will set a policy signal to investors, to technology providers, and to energy companies that CCS is a preferred technological solution in Europe, and that the European emissions trading system will allow for and help in the development of CCS technologies across Europe.
Elena Levina discussed the essentials for ensuring CCS realizes its mitigation potential.
And in our scenario, CCS plays a very important role. It is 13% of cumulative emission reductions between today and 2050. And CCS is part of the portfolio of technologies that we analyze as mitigation technologies for the energy sector. Our belief is that globally we would need the whole portfolio, and without CCS it will be more expensive globally.